One of my favorite people is Albert Einstein. I didn't know him real well because I was young, but if you watch the biography channel, they repeat his biography every couple of years, and there's tons. I mean, there's a whole industry of books out there that some are technical, some just get into large print and reprint the few famous things that he said that are quotable. Probably one of the most famous, of course, is that God doesn't play dice with the universe when he's talking about particle physics and quantum mechanics. I like him like so many other people because he's so idiosyncratic and so irreverent. If you remember, when he showed up here in the late 30s on the boat in New York, he was the first rock star, like before Mick Jagger. People were coming out, nobody had read the special theory of relativity, or the general theory of relativity, or the paper on electricity for which he got the Nobel Prize. But he was a celebrity. Everyone wanted to see him. Everyone wanted to hear what he said, to hear him play the violin, to go to the opera with him. It was just terrific. I have one little story that was this. When I was teaching at UCSB, there was a guy in the department who often, instead of going to the meetings, would go over to the town nearby, Goleta, and go for a beer. And one day the small Bank of America branch there closed down, and what was his name? Bob? I forget what Bob's last name was, but he bought the bank building, small one, and he made a bar out of it, which he called the English department. So you could go there instead of going to the meetings and have a beer with most of the people in your department that were worth knowing. But in the washrooms, in the men's washroom, of course, like everywhere else, there's always someone writing on the wall. So they had something up there that you could write on, as opposed to the walls. There's some kind of a board. And some clever person had written the formula for energy and matter, E equals mc squared, you know. Kind of sophomoric, but there it was. But what was great, about a week later, when I was in there, someone had come in and with a red pen, which was great. Underneath it wrote, "Very good, Albert, but next time show your work." The other thing I usually have to gloss in this poem is the word church key. But I think most of us will remember what that is. Yeah. In the days before beers had pop tops or pull tabs or anything like that. What Einstein means to me. I don't give a good goddamn anymore what anyone thinks. Just like Albert Einstein, sticking his tongue out at the press, J. Edgar Hoover, and anyone else poking their nose in his famous photo. How it lightens my reckless and irregular heart each time I see it. And not that I'm offering any comparisons here, having received my diploma in theoretical physics from a home correspondence course requiring 50 years of stargazing and 500 box tops from Nabisco shredded wheat. I just admire that self-confidence that says, I'm a free and irresponsible agent for my immeasurable will. There's nothing left for them to do to me now. And I love that image of him riding his bicycle around Princeton in his 60s without socks, legs splayed to either side to better glide on the slapdash air, and his electric white hair shocking the wind, whose bareback imagination had articulated the invisible bones in most every particle known and unknown, who went over time 2 out of 3 falls with God regardless of the outcome. Spit into the wind, we all know the speed of light, and that soon enough gravity waves will slip beneath each one of our doors. Back in the day, it took a church key to open a can of beer, and it would comfort more minds and hearts to hand your neighbor a comparatively cold one than to direct him to a numbing chorus of In Excelsis Deo, a warehouse of hosannas. no matter what stellar exposition you subscribe to, you'll still find yourself living in 4 dimensions, unless you see time, space, as one more component of a ride on a battered light beam, the unreconstructed bits of a unified field against which all the odds are stacked, regardless of who is rolling the dice. That was the last